We have Ivory Sully as a special guest on our call tonight, and we're going to chat about how LifeWave patches have evolved and become a key part of the athletic world. And we'll get a chance to ask Ivory some questions. So we're talking about this amazing product of phototherapy patches. We're not putting any drugs or chemicals or stimulants into
Hey, Cami, you're kind of cutting out. Are you there?
She froze for me.
Froze on mine.
There we go.
Okay, she's back.
This is fun. Yeah. Okay. Not kind of back. My computer is telling me my internet connection is unstable. So just a second, and we will punt. Well, that makes it more exciting this way anyway, right? Okay. We'll go back. Okay. Can you guys see my screen okay?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. Okay. So 20 years ago, or more than 20 years ago, our wonderful inventor, David Schmidt, was working on projects for the US Navy SEALs. He was a pretty amazing inventor. His company created power systems for the Navy subs. And this whole LifeWave company came from a conversation with somebody at the Department of Defense. And he said, well, David, you're so good at powering up our guys. How about powering up our subs? How about powering up our guys? We're having to fire a record number of our SEALs because they're getting hooked on amphetamines. Of course, we push them really hard. They have to be very athletic and be awake and alert for too many hours. And he said, I would love to work on that project. And that was the beginning of our company, the beginning of LifeWave. He invented the energy enhancers, which stimulate the body. Just like Tracy was saying, all of these patches have a light reflector inside them. And the first invention was a two-set patch system called energy enhancers, and they stimulate the body to tell the mitochondria to produce more ATP to burn fat as fuel. And it's beautiful, and they worked amazingly. And then David Schmidt got to thinking, David Schmidt got to thinking these were such an amazing project that it just keeps progressing. Technical things. Oh my goodness, it just keeps progressing.
Can
So
you
he
just
went
hit the
to
back button? Sometimes I can.
I tried. It's being feisty. So he took this to he got introduced to a friend through some networking projects. Friend of a friend, Coach Richard Quick in the Stanford University. And he was the US Olympic hopeful coach. He was coaching the women's team. And when David Schmidt brought this product to Richard Quick, he was like, yeah, sure, we'll do some trials with that. And actually, the women's team did so well at some competitions and trials that they actually, all of the other coaches were complaining about their performance, and they thought they must be drugging, they must be doing something illegal. And there were all kinds of coaches calling for these patches to be tested, which of course they were, and they were vindicated. There was nothing going in these athletes but light. And of course, you guys probably know our buddy. I know him personally. No, I don't. Michael Phelps, who is one of the most decorated Olympians of all time. And they accused him of doping, but he was not. So, in fact, I found a quote by him, and he was saying that anybody caught doping, anybody doping for in the athletic world should be not allowed to compete. It's just not fair. So this exploded in the athletic world, and our US Olympic team wears them. It's been in the athletic world for 20 years. Pretty amazing. So here is a published study, a clinical study of the efficacy of the energy enhancer patches in 2012. So even 10 years after they came out, this is still, they're still being studied, and they're still going, oh man, they are really effective at helping people create their ATP. So this has moved throughout the sports world, of course, and used by athletes every day. I've heard rumors that the Kansas City Chiefs use them. And I would love to introduce a new friend and acquaintance, Ivory Sully. He was in the NFL for 9 years, and has more energy. I've talked to him a couple times on the phone. He has more energy than me. And I'm pretty beyond excited that you're here. So Ivory, would you mind unmuting yourself?
I am unmuted.
Woo!
I am unmuted. And I dare say I do not have the energy you do, my dear. Sorry. Sorry. And you'll have to forgive the surroundings. I am right now currently I'm on the phone with you, but we started a banquet for the high school football team, which I coach, and we are the Edison Chargers. We won the CIF State Championship for California, Division 1A, on Saturday, and we're state champs, and we're having a party tonight. But I felt it too important to cancel this appointment with you, Cami, because I'll tell you what, I'd be dead if I did that. I know the deal. I know the deal. I'm here. That shows you dedication, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. I'm so thankful and also blessed that you're here. Congratulations, Coach.
Yeah,
that's
man.
Amazing.
Thank you. I didn't tell you that. I did. No, that's right, man. Good things are happening. And I'm going to tell you. Okay, so we're talking about stuff. I say, oh my gosh, this is so enriching and so powerful when the the preliminary talk was about the actual science and the patches and what they're good for and all that stuff. And I have to tell you, okay, I played 9 years in the NFL. That's a lot of wear and tear on you. I am one of those guys that are called quote unquote overachievers. So you tell me to do something, you tell me to jump over the building. I don't want to jump over the building. I want to jump over the Empire State Building. And that's just who I am. And that's kind of how I got to where I got. And 9 years being an overachiever, what happens is your ligaments in your body, they start quitting on you. And my patellar tendons were paper thin. And what ended up happening was I had some arthritis. I wanted to go get checked out. I wanted to go get get a physical therapist to check me out and see and get it strong again. And me in the sequence of me doing that, I literally ruptured my left patellar tendon and my kneecap was standing on its edge. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, wow, that is not right. Something is really wrong on that. And I went through a period. This is just in March now, okay? Now we are now currently in December. That's 9 months. They said the minimum that I will be active will be a year. Look, I put a patch on every freaking night, and I'm telling you, I am jogging again. Okay, my physical therapist is like, "What are you doing, dude? What are you doing? Why? What's this all about?" I said, "First of all, I'm not overdoing it, and second of all, I put patches on." And I'm actually going to be reinvigorating that conversation this week, actually. And so I got to tell you, I am the prime subject to the success of the stem cell technology, the refurbishment of an old man's body. I'm 67 years old right now, and I'm still jumping over little buildings, probably just Barbie's house or something like that.
Awesome. So how long have you been patching? Who introduced you to the patches?
Wow. I was at a forum that I was invited to by a friend. I was doing something else with another product, and we were doing it together. And Marci, being the one to rake me in, for crying out loud. And so, and Marci's great, and she's brilliant, and I love her presentation. I love the way she comes across. It's just a matter of fact. It just is what it is. And the thing about this is, the great thing about this is you can't lie about it, okay? Especially when you're talking to an athlete. My whole thing is I have to recover. If I don't recover, I don't play. I don't play, I don't make money. And so this is really it's lifestyle. I mean, I have to have that be the case. And so Marci is the one that turned me on to this. And I said, "Marci, I don't know, really, right now?" And then and I started doing it, and within a couple of months, everybody says that I don't look my age, okay? And there's no question that the stem cell patches have something to do with that. But my physical therapist, who knows the body and knows the recovery cycle, knows and knows he's dealing with an overachiever. And I wasn't overachieving in this one. I just took it slow. I took an extra day off when I was supposed to take, 3 days. I took 4 days. I just took it. And I'm telling you, it took over, and it made me feel better and rejuvenated. And I am so happy right now that I can walk on my knee. It's unbelievable.
That's fantastic. So when you first started patching, did you feel results?
You know what? It was more, for me, it was the sleep that I was getting. I was not sleeping. I started sleeping all the way through the night. That to me was a journey too far for so long, because I had the little aches, I had the football, the football hangover, your shoulders, your neck, your head, you get a headache. I have not had a headache, not one headache, not one, since I started putting the patch on the first night. I slept through that night and I said, wow, that is crazy. Now, obviously, sleep is a great healer. Okay, rest, we all know. But for me, I have the mindset of recovering. And recovery in sports is vital, because if you're not playing at your top, then you're just average, and then you can get run over. We talked to our boys just this last Saturday about being relentless. That's what I was born on. That's what I was raised on. I eat that for lunch. I am relentless when I'm on the field, but you cannot be relentless if your body won't take you there. And so the great thing is, I train well, and I put these patches on, and I'm going to tell you now. I mean, I'm not doing so bad for 67. I'm hanging in there.
I'm pretty sure you have more energy than me.
Well,
So you sleeping better, no headaches, your body
no
feels
shoulder,
rejuvenated.
no shoulders. The shoulders were the thing. Rolling over on I lift weights. So you roll over on your shoulders, you can never really get comfortable. You have to sleep on a hard bed when you're an athlete. And I've always been sleeping on a hard bed. But man, it just was so uncomfortable for my shoulders because I get up every day and it went from my back all the way up my back of my neck to my head. And I tell you, it just wasn't working for me, man. And that was a change in my life. That brought me back to life. It really did. It really did.
Fantastic. It seems like, what patches are your favorites? What do you use on a daily basis and what do you sprinkle in?
I am X39, X49, and Eon. Okay, every day. And if I need some special, sometimes I splatter it in. I'm happy with the overall result. I mean, I'm feeling so good. It's like I don't want to mess it up. All right, it's like almost like that. I know I'm weird that way, but if something is working, I want to keep it there, and it's working, buddy. It's working. So those are the three that I use.
Fantastic. So, would you recommend that other coaches or athletes or trainers use them?
From high school, 100%. And I'm going to tell you why. Just the same thing that I told you before. Being relentless means you're going to be carrying yourself into a place with your body that you don't know. That is one of the hardest things for coaches to teach, is to reach past your comfort level. When I'm in the weight room with these kids and we're lifting weights, I don't want to see you dog it. I want to see you go ahead and increase. That was one of the secrets that we had as a team, was our weight room. Our weight room, from game 1 to game 14, we were stronger than anybody else that we played against. And that was proven out on Saturday. And that's what I'm so happy about. And I was thinking about that this meeting tonight, about what it takes. And so for what it takes, these patches are perfect for recovery. After you've exhausted yourself, you have to recover. It's the person that recovers first that wins, period. Full stop. That's it. And by the way, I got some energy right now because I'm feeling it, because it was so high. It was so great, man, having the chance to compete at that level, the very best, the very top of California, and win it. Ain't nothing below that. That's it. We are going to be first forever. That's our first.
Fantastic. I'm so excited for you and your team and everybody on this call, actually, and then everybody who will hear the recording, because that is reality. Like, you just shared exactly why I want to get this in the hands of all of the young athletes and trainers and coaches, because it's so important for their recovery and longevity in the game.
If you need me to come and bring these guys on, you go ahead and call me. You hear me? Because I know it, because I live it and I've lived it. Let's go. Let's go.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It's absolute.
You're the best. So any last words of wisdom for any coaches or young athletes on this call?
Well, I do. I have one more story to tell you. I was at my PT's office and I was telling you about my PT and him just not understanding. Well, what the heck, man? You're a body. You're a different kind of guy, man. Well, first of all, to be a world-class athlete, yes, you do have to have a different kind of set of circumstances that you're starting with. But at my age is what he keeps saying and keeps talking. We're similar aged, and it's not close. But the age thing and being in the shape that I am and maintaining that competitive ability, the ability to compete, I'm starting slow. I'm not going to rush into it. I'm going to start playing pickleball. Pickleball is on the horizon, okay? But the thing about it is it's about motivating and telling people about that this exists and that this can elevate the entire the entire deal. It'll just elevate it to a point where you're playing and your kids will more than likely not get injured as many times as they do when they're not in shape. If they're not in shape and they're not recovering, it's just a matter of time until that body gives out. That's just the way it is in high school. And that's also in college, okay? College also. College is the next level of just below the pros. But if you get them in college understanding it, you're going to elevate their game too. We're just going to see an elevation in the sport. Michael Phelps, are you kidding me? That guy's he's all world. Yeah, no lie that he's done all the things that he's done. It's because his body recovered. That's the key. Okay, so don't tell anybody that if you don't want to know, but that's the real deal, okay? And that's what these patches offer you and coaches to their players.
Fantastic. Well, I appreciate you. I'm so honored and thankful that you chose to spend time with us. I don't want to keep you too long and keep you from celebrating with your team and your players. And just congratulations again. That's a job well done. So
Cami, thank you so much for having me. I certainly hope I helped people understand what the connection is between sports and the patches and how they can enhance and help and actually keep kids out of trouble with regard to their body and giving them the ability to get the strength to play the sports the way they're supposed to play the sports. And anytime you need me, you call me, okay?
oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're the best.
You're the best. Okay, sis. See you later.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Wow, that's the best. Very, very cool. So let's go back to our slide presentation. Nothing compares after that, but here we go. So yes, this has been in the athletic world for a very long time. And there you have Ivory Sully, who was in the NFL for 9 years, and he was, that's a lot of wear and tear on the body. And the longevity of somebody's career, obviously he didn't have the patches then, but the longevity of somebody's career, if these patches can help your body recover, that's the name of the game, and staying in the game for longer. So I love that. So energy enhancers were the original granddaddy of them all. And over time, David Schmidt created different patches. And so Tracy shared with us in the previous session about X39, and X39 is the patch that tells your body to make a GHK copper peptide. And that is an amazing peptide that tells your body to release its own stem cells. So athletes' favorites, just like Ivory Sully was saying, the X39 and 49 are fantastic because X39 helps your body create pluripotent stem cells, and then X49 tells your body to make stem cells or release a different copper peptide. So the copper peptide is AHK copper peptide, which releases stem cells that are specialized to your brain and nervous system, your heart and cardiovascular system, your muscles, and your bones. So there is a power-packed dynamic performance duo there of patches, the 39 and 49 together, giving the athletes their stem cell activity to recover. And of course, Eon, which I don't have a slide for tonight, but the Eon helps your body reduce inflammation. So then more of those stem cells can go to repair. So here's what one athlete was saying about She's a competitive cyclist. And so he said, ever since I've started using the X39, I've been less tired with a higher mental awareness, less physical and mental fatigue. His recovery times after training have been nothing short of phenomenal. With a faster recovery time, just like Ivory Sully was saying, I'm able to push 100 to 100% the next day. So what in the world is this? So these patches are wearable light technology. They're letting your own body light go into the patch and get reflected back. You wear it for 12 hours during the day, and then you take it off for 12 hours and reapply the next day. It's pretty amazing. There's you drink plenty of water, because anytime you have cellular activity, you need water. Everything works on osmosis. When your cells are creating that ATP, your body is creating waste products that need to get out of the body as well. So this is an amazing technology for athletes, and I highly recommend that you try it. So if you have a friend or someone who invited you to this call, I would recommend that you contact them, text them, email them, call them, and say, hey, how do I get these in my hands? And they will tell you. If you need more information, you go to startx39now.com. That'll give you all kinds of information about the patches. But we are so glad you're here, and so glad that you joined us and are considering using these as part of your athletic regimen for recovery and healing. So thanks, you guys. Appreciate you.